Don't get your hopes up about NASCAR changing the championship format going into 2026. Katherine Legge had an absolutely phenomenal run on Sunday at Indianapolis. Plus, Bubba Wallace won the Brickyard 400. Let's read what the Facebook commenters are saying. Welcome back to Break Hard. I'm Matt, back from Indianapolis. Got absolutely scorched on Sunday, feeling a lot better than I did last night on Sunday night. I've had a couple people be like, hey, when's the Austin Hill penalty going to come out? I would expect that on Tuesday when NASCAR's penalty report comes out. We'll see if he does in fact get a further penalty than the 5 laps that he was held for on Saturday. Good thing about that, we're doing the Closing Laps podcast on Tuesday night. We're actually going to live stream it on my channel here. Look for that around 7:30. Should be a good time. I'm excited to try it out, try out a live stream for the first time doing the podcast. And if it goes well, maybe we'll do more of it into the future there. So come join Cam and I tomorrow. Also, one other thing, saw the Driven guys this past weekend at the Brickyard 400. Love the sunglasses. Check out the website, drivensunglasses.com. Use code BREAKHARD at checkout for 20% off plus free shipping. But let's get into what we want to talk about today. We're going to start off with NASCAR's championship format and the future of the playoffs. And I wouldn't get your hopes up, because you're about to be more disappointed than a San Diego meteorologist when he finds out rain's in the forecast. Got to work now? Or a Marvel fan when there's no post-credit scene. Sat around for all that time for nothing. Because it doesn't sound like NASCAR is going to make any wholesale changes to the championship format. That according to Jeff Gluck from The Athletic, who on his podcast, The Teardown, on Sunday night, outed himself as being a member of the playoff committee. Now, that's going to confuse a lot of people because for some reason, people only think active drivers are on the playoff committee. No, it was never just active drivers. It's always been retired drivers, active drivers, and media members as well. And Gluck is one of the media members that is on that committee, along with Mark Martin. And obviously, Mark Martin's name came up a lot last week when Daniel Trotta and Larry Mack said they weren't talking about Mark Martin. Feels like you guys were talking about Mark Martin there. And his push for a full 36 race championship, which was well received amongst the fan base. And Chase Elliott even came out and said, hey, I want a 36 race championship as well. Dale Jr. said that's the correct take. And NASCAR's most influential voices all are on Mark Martin's side. Well, according to Gluck, it felt like there were going to be changes. That one race, winner take all championship race was going to be gone. Up until a few weeks ago, when things started to change and the networks got their hands into the pot here and started meddling around. Think of like Scary Movie when he put his little hand into the mashed potatoes and everybody's like, there it went. There went all the fun. So according to Gluck, the networks, specifically NBC in this situation, want to keep that championship race around. They like the idea of a one race championship, one race, winner take all, decide the championship there. And there's a little bit to this here. Obviously, NASCAR just signed a big media rights deal last year, and NBC's paying like $1 billion for this as well. There's a reason they want the back half of the NASCAR schedule, and that's because it comes with the playoffs. They like that. They're able to put that on before Sunday Night Football. They like the lead-in and everything that goes up with that when you get later into the fall. The problem is, the fans don't really seem to like that. The fans don't really like the one race winner take all. It hasn't delivered the Game 7 moment that NASCAR thought it was going to, and having it at Phoenix certainly doesn't help out at all. And now it doesn't seem like things are going to change, which is unfortunate because I was hoping that maybe even if they change it, just change a little bit. Like, just give us a 3-race championship round, and whoever has the most points at the end of that wins. And I think people would have been really happy with that solution. Not really happy, let's be honest. NASCAR fans are never actually that happy. But I felt like it was a reasonable solution for us. Now it doesn't sound like we're going to get that at all. It seems like things might just remain the status quo, which kind of stinks in a sense. Gluck did say that everybody on the committee does come to the same consensus that the championship format needs to be simplified. It needs to be less complex. And I could not agree with that more. Because you and I, we're entrenched in NASCAR. We understand the point system. We understand stages. We understand bonus points, playoff points, how the elimination style format works, everything that goes into that. Try to explain it to a casual, though. And try to do it in under 2 minutes and have them understand it. It's difficult. It's really hard. And why would somebody take that much time to learn something if they just want to be a casual fan of something? It doesn't make any sense. It's not like wins and losses in football, baseball, hockey, basketball, whatever else that goes into it. And it's more complex than like the point system is in soccer, which is pretty simple. 3 points for a win, 0 points for a loss, and 1 point for a tie. Like, okay, yeah, that's simple. Easy to understand there. But from the NASCAR side of things, there's a lot that goes into it, and it makes it difficult for sure. So it's disappointing to kind of realize that we're probably not going to get any big changes. And it's a bummer. Gluck said that they met at the Daytona 500, they met at the Coke 600, and everybody has a lot of good ideas. Everybody has things that they're passionate about, and everybody has a different idea on sort of maybe changes that could be made. And ultimately, it doesn't sound like there's going to be very many changes made at all. And that bums me out. One, as a fan, and two, as a person that does a decent amount of media around this sport, I think that, I've sat back and read a lot of the comments. I see what people want, and some of it is, of course, like nostalgia farming. And they're like, oh, you just want to go back to the way it was. And I get that, right? I do think that there's a lot of merit in being the best over 36 weeks. I think that winning a 36 race championship is way harder than winning an elimination style format championship, just because you got to be good the entire year. Right now, you don't have to be good the entire year. Be good once in the regular season, be good 3 times realistically in the playoffs, and hey, you can win a championship. And there's merit to both ones, for sure. Winning the elimination style format, I shouldn't downplay it. It's incredibly hard. It definitely is hard. A lot of it relies on wins, and we see guys with 9 wins, not even make that championship round. But I still think that being good over 36 weeks is more difficult than being good over a 3-week period at a time. Now, it does put a lot of pressure on the teams. It does put a lot of crunch on them as well, and the drivers to be like, hey, you got to get this done immediately. You can't maybe just coast around. I get that. At the same time, though, maybe like a 10-race chase would be fine, like we used to have. Whoever has the most points at the end of 10 races wins the title. Okay. Well, what happens if they only have to finish like 19th in that final race? Okay, well, everybody else should have been better. Like, why are you getting penalized for being good throughout the entire year? That's the part that I don't agree with. Then you have an idea that I had, which was to change up the elimination style format a little bit. You have your wild card race. After that race, 4 people are eliminated. 3-race round, 4 more people eliminated. 3-race round, 4 more people eliminated. Then you have your final 4 left for a 3-race championship round. Whoever has the most points at the end of that wins. Simple enough. It takes away that 1-race winner-take-all format and gives drivers an opportunity to go around to a couple of different tracks. And right now, I think part of it is, Joey Logano just really fueled the fire. Phoenix has certainly not given us the championship races people were hoping for, and maybe NASCAR was hoping for. And I think the frustration has just risen to a meteoric level that it's ready to pop at any moment here, Mount St. Helens style, and the whole side is going to blow out, and people are going to be really upset. I think something needs to change. I'm starting to have my doubts that anything's going to change. We're getting later into the season too, and NASCAR has waited a while to announce championship changes, like all the way until January at times. And maybe that's what happens here again. But right now, I really don't have my hopes up. We'll see what changes though. Typically, when you think of driver of the day, you don't look down to 17th place on the finishing order, but you absolutely should have on Sunday at the Brickyard 400 because Katherine Legge scored a P17 finish in that number 78 Live Fast Motorsports car, which is an absolutely incredible run for her and that entire team. Legge has come under criticism a few times this year. Back at the Phoenix Spring Race, she spun out twice during the race. Once that collected Daniel Suarez when I believe he's running in the top 5, and fans absolutely lost their mind. Part of the reason was that she's a woman, and people are always going to be upset about that. The other part is they think that NASCAR should have stricter licensing rules, which I do tend to agree with there. I think NASCAR should have a more structured licensing program for the Cup Series, but that's a whole different topic. For Legge, though, she promised to get better. And she has gotten better. She's gotten a lot better. She's gotten reps in the Cup Series. She's gotten reps in the Xfinity Series. And now on Sunday in the Cup Series race at Indianapolis, she showed just exactly how good of a race car driver she was. And for the most of us that watch racing, we know that she's a really good race car driver. She's an IMSA winner. She started the Indianapolis 500. Katherine Legge's a badass behind the wheel of a race car, and she drives circles around 99% of the people that are telling her that she's not good. At the same time, she had her wrecks, right? You got to get that out of your system. But to come back and put in a run like she did on Sunday, yeah, that's a really good way to just shut every single person up. And I'm happy that she got that run. And I'm happy for that 78 team as well. That is not a car that traditionally finishes in P17. And she managed to stay on the lead lap and get a good finish out of that car. That is a really, really good day for her and that entire team. And they deserve the recognition that they're starting to get today on Monday for just how good their run was. Over the radio during the race, her team was talking back and forth on Channel 2, so she couldn't hear it. And they mentioned how they wish they could just do a test with her because she'd be badass right off the truck if they were able to do a test and get her more comfortable in the seat and know what she's looking for out of the race car. And they're not wrong. She's adapted really, really well. The development is developing. The same thing we saw with Corey Day in the Truck Series race on Friday night at IRP. Everything is starting to click. Everything's starting to come together. And it's honestly a fun thing to watch. She becomes the highest finishing woman in the Brickyard 400 since Danica Patrick finished 11th in 2017. And honestly, I don't think anybody would have expected Katherine to finish P17 on Sunday. She qualified 38th. She looked bad out on the track. She was like 6 seconds off the pole time as well. And it's like, oh man, is she going to go like a lap down 10 laps into this race? Is this going to be bad? No, it wasn't. It actually turned out to be really, really good. And I'm excited to see what she can do the rest of the year. Obviously, Indianapolis is a place that she's got a lot of laps around. She's comfortable with it. She spent multiple months of May there running laps in an Indy car. Obviously, a full body stock car is a bit different, but Kyle Larson talked about some of the similarities last year. So I'm sure there's some things that she learned and could use behind the wheel of stock car. But regardless, it's just cool to see her go out there and have a good run, and it's a good thing for Live Fast as well. Bubba Wallace won the Brickyard 400 on Sunday, and the first thing I did was run to Facebook, find NASCAR's page, and read the comments underneath the win post because you knew the boomers were going to have a lot of things to say, and they didn't disappoint. So let's read a few of them real quick here. We're going to start off with next week he'll cause a 50-car pileup. Well, we're going to Iowa, and there's probably only going to be 36 cars on track, but whatever. Don't let facts stand in the way of a good post, I assume. Even a clock is broken twice a day. Did the rest of the field crash? Crying face emoji, crying face emoji, crying face emoji. NASCAR and Toyota when they team up. Deep conspiracy thought there. See how far he makes in the playoffs, one and done. Even a blind squirrel gets a nut once in a while. That right there, that saying is what the boomers thought they all nailed. They thought that was the greatest comeback they'd ever thought of. What's a good comment? Oh, I got it right here. So either all the boomers had the same unoriginal generic thought, which would not be out of the question, or all the bots were just very much botting on Sunday. Because look, even a blind squirrel finds the correct time once a day. I'm not sure about that one. Bling squirrel will find a nut. Even a blind squirrel occasionally finds a nut. Every now and again, a lost squirrel finds a nut. I'm telling you, they love squirrels. I've never seen a group of people love squirrels more than these people do. Isn't a tradition at the Brickyard to drink milk after a win? Did he have an issue with the milk? This is where I realized once again that some people just don't understand motorsports at all. Nobody else showed up. What's that they say about the blind squirrel? Telling you. Did he think his dad today said what I said? Just because you can say it typically doesn't mean you should say it, but I guess you can say it and look like that. Larson was told to lay back. If there's one thing I know about Rick Hendrick, he hates winning races. He hates it. Definitely told Larson to lay back. The Popeyes endorsement coming soon. Listen, if you want to say it, just say it. Stop playing the semantics game. What most of you don't know is that as the introductions were going on, he was being booed and he flipped off fans in the stands before the race. Now, I was standing on the grid watching driver introductions, and not once did I see Bubba do this. Now, we may exist in alternate realities, so I could potentially have missed it. What majority of the drivers did do was try to look behind the table and see what the guy running the Cookie Monster puppet looked like. Sorry to all the kids out there, Cookie Monster actually has a human that runs the puppet. That second fuel tank sure was handy today. Just looked right past that inspection. Gee, Kyle looked like he could have been sandbagging it. Again, Rick Hendrick hates winning crown jewel races. The blind squirrel will at some point find the nut. Love squirrels. Love them. Larson let him win. Why? Where'd all that extra gas come from? Thinking emoji. He had so much fuel he could do all those burnouts and drive it to victory lane. Did you have that same energy when Chase Briscoe won a fuel mileage race at Pocono a couple weeks back? Don't think so. I changed the channel before he even took the checker. Now he'll have an even bigger head, but that's okay. He'll wreck next week. When he kissed the bricks, his lips got stuck on them. Listen, I'm telling you, just say it. Just say it. Stop doing the semantics. Say what you want to say. Bubba Kaepernick strikes again. That's another one that people thought was super original. Had to let him win. It's all Michael Jordan money. Yes. NASCAR let the team that is suing them in federal court win. 100%. Let me win or I'll sue you apparently worked. So he wasn't scared of the white flag. The AI garbage. The brain rot has worked. We already knew that. But it's really taken over NASCAR fans on Facebook. Jesus. All right, moving on here. Bet he didn't mind that white flag today. All right. He'd been crying and playing the race card, so they let him win. Again, NASCAR let the team that is suing them in federal court go to victory lane in a crown jewel event. Yes. Maybe he'll quit crying now. Well, sorry. Maybe he'll quite crying now. Quite. I heard the flagger was wearing a Colonel Sanders suit. Say what you want to say. Stop it with this. Stop tiptoeing around. Did he drink chocolate milk? What'd I just say? I see he took the knee again. All right, so you have to get on your knees to kiss the bricks. I don't know if you've ever tried to kiss the bricks by just bending over at the hips. Really difficult. I'm very flexible for my height and everything. I could never even do that. But did he get a white flag? We're still doing it. Sorry, scared my dog over here. The boomers didn't disappoint. Once again, they're still back to the same nonsense that they always are. Doing dumb things, saying dumb things, doing exactly what you expect the Facebook commenters to do. It's a bummer, but things are never going to change, unfortunately. So let me know in the comments what you think about NASCAR potentially not changing the championship format. Katherine Legge's really good run at Indianapolis. And the Facebook commenters on the post about Bubba Wallace. Never change. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on TikTok at BreakHard, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at BreakHardBlog.